Hey guys, so I had a job the other day for a friend, and he built a new house and had a used water heater to put in. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Most of it's going to be time lapse. I'll come in farther in the end and towards the end, and we'll talk about some insulation and stuff like that we're going to do. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Hey guys, so I'm back out here. It's a few days later, a lot colder, and we're gonna finish this up. We're gonna alter this a little bit and get our expansion tank put in and go ahead and insulate these lines. We decided to go ahead and put the expansion tank up here on top of the heater. So I'm gonna alter a couple little things right here and we're gonna get that in. And anyway, we'll get to the time lapse. Hey guys, so one thing I do want to mention here is if you use a ring buster for PEX fittings, always make sure that it's adjusted first of all. As you can see, it has a step for 3/4. This keeps it from crimping too tight and actually cutting the fitting and causing a leak. So if you use these, just be sure your ring busters are in adjustment. We're going to go 180, take the ring off. And then I like to take it to the 1/2 inch to actually go through and cut the pipe to make it easier to get off. It cuts a little deeper, and so it makes it a little easier to remove. Anyway, figured while I was at it, go ahead and mention that. I'm using 5 rounds. This tape calls for a minimum of, I believe it was 3. Yeah, minimum 3 wraps. I find 5 wraps is about right. When you've had fittings leak, and then you come up with a system that prevents you from having leaks, you make note of that. And to me, that's between 4 to 5 wraps of this particular tape. Now, some guys will freak out when you put this much tape on. So you're going to break the fitting. Well, more tape does equal easier to turn and less resistance. So yes, if you're unfamiliar with the amount of torque required and you put more tape on, yes, you can blow a fitting apart. You can crack a fitting. But when you're aware of how much torque and how far to tighten it, it's not going to harm anything. Its purpose is to prevent leaks. When you're working with brass to brass, that's when I'm going to use 4 to 5 rounds of tape. It's so cold out here, this stuff is just falling off. That's what I'm going to blame it on anyway. Anyway, we're going to get this tightened up before I get up there. We don't have any tape in the fitting. We do not. And I have aired this pressure tank up accordingly based on the inlet, based on the supply pressure. If you don't know what that is, there's a little gauge with a garden hose fitting on it, and you go put it on your outside faucet, turn it on, and see what your static pressure is. And you want this pretty much the same, maybe a couple PSI less. That way the bladder isn't always emptying. Be a little less stress on the bladder. about right. With the addition of the T and the male adapter here, even though I cut it off tight at the 90, I still have enough pipe, so it's perfect. Okay, so we are ready for water pressure once more. Alrighty guys, so we're ready to insulate this. Let's get this water turned on and make sure we don't have any leaks first. It's always a wise decision. So I've got a duct board knife. It's a nice straight knife, and we got our insulation. I like to start somewhere where I know I'm going to start it and then work another direction. I'll probably start at this little clamp right here just to illustrate for you before I get the time lapse going. So we're going to slide this on, and we're going to mark with our thumb pretty much where we're going to make this bevel. We're going to cut a 45 degree, make a 45 degree cut right to the back of the insulation, and we're going to flip it. Now we're going to come down about a quarter more. Like this insulation is, let's say it's 2 inches wide. I'm going to go 2.5 inches from here to here. I'm not measuring it, but it's a little bit farther than the diameter of the pipe. So if you hold it up, the actual diameter of the pipe is going to be a little below that, maybe 130%. We're going to come down here, get our knife started, another 45 degree cut, and it's going to meet right at the back of the insulation like that. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a double cut here, and it ends up right at the back. Now when you close this, that's going to close up really nicely. And the other part about this, when you put this in, you want to cut these pieces, these lengths, a little bit long, and that's going to cause some pressure and push this joint together really nicely. So we're going to slide this on here. And we're going to get another length here and make it just a smidge on the long side. So yeah, we're going to finish sealing that up. And when I'm done with the time lapse, I'll walk you through and show you how these joints look. Why are you leaking, bud? You got to be kidding me. Well, guys, I actually ended up with a leak on this fitting right here, and I don't know if I didn't tighten it. Guys, I may have forgot to tighten that. I'll be honest. I do have a little room here, so it's not the end of the world. I have enough room on that pipe. Actually, it probably should have been a little shorter anyway. So let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tighten it. Hey, don't do that. Make sure you tighten it. Yeah, so make sure you tighten your fittings. They will leak if you don't tighten them enough. You know, guys, I looked at that and I thought, man, that did not tighten in very well. But I was thinking I had done it. Well, I didn't. That should be tight enough. All right, let's get that crimped in. I pulled a 1/2 of an inch off, but it was actually a little bit long, so it will be just fine without lengthening it. That actually does better than I had it before. All right, good deal. Whew. Let's try it again. We'll dry it up. All right. Dry it up and make sure it's good. All right, let's try that again. Now, I'm gonna have to blame that on the fact that I'm recording this because, hey, it's just like somebody watching over your shoulder. As soon as you got somebody watching you, you start messing up. All right, time to clean up. I looked pretty messy before. I was just throwing these pieces of sealing tape everywhere, but I found it's a lot more efficient just to throw it and then gather it when you're done. Okay, I think we're, a couple pieces stuck to the wall. Oh yeah. course, now this stuff will have to be wired up. The pump will need to be wired up. Water heater needs to be wired up. But anyway, just wanted to share a time lapse of the work. Figured it'd be fun to watch. And I'm definitely looking forward to all those comments. All right, guys, so quick run through on what we've done. Could have made it look a lot more neat had we used copper. We could have used fiberglass insulation. We could have done all that. We could have spent thousands more dollars. We didn't have thousands more dollars to spend. So this is what the customer wanted. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And let me show you on these right here. This one's a little misaligned, but there's one of the fully formed 90s. There's another one. That one's a little bit on the tight side, but kind of get the idea. That one's a little tight. But it works really well. This one's pretty. That one's one of my favorites right there. That's how I want it to look. So, anyway. Alrighty, guys. Well, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I guess if you didn't, please don't give it a thumbs down. Oh wait, no, I don't think YouTube has a thumbs down. No, they do. That's right. So anyway, we'll kind of do a vote. We'll figure out how many thumbs down I get, how many thumbs up. And anyway, if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe for more. Comment nicely. Thank you.